Hey friends, welcome to my 2025 Christmas home tour. I am one of those people that decorates early because it's a lot of work. I really like to deck the halls around here. I think it's so fun. But not only that, turkey tastes just as good with Christmas lights. And who couldn't use the extra cheer and joy? Am I right? I love using well-loved things that I've found at yard sales and thrift stores. They just bring so much cozy character and have stories to tell. So you're going to see a lot of that throughout our home, as always. I also like to try to upload these home tour videos of seasonal decorating a little bit early to give you all ideas and inspiration, things that you can be looking for when you're out thrifting to incorporate in your own home for the holidays. If nothing else, I hope that you're able to relax and unwind for just a few minutes. And thanks so much for watching and spending some time with me. Come on in, and I'll show you around. So here on the little table by our front door, I kind of did the same thing I did last year, just a little different. I added a little greenery pick to my horse print up there, and then just tied a bow on the lamp and have a book, some candy, and this little dish. And then this was my granny's belt. I just put it around some green books. And that's it for that table. On the hooks, I have the ice skates with some greenery, a little horn, and some mittens that I thrifted. And then when you walk in the front door and look straight ahead, you can see the skating minister. I put him there this year, so you can kind of see the skates go with him pretty good. I always try to keep them close together. And then on our homeschool buffet table, we decided to add some lights to make it extra festive. I used a lot of my big horns to hang here and just added greenery and bows. And then I used my brass champagne buckets on both sides, filled them in with some greenery. And these nutcrackers I found at my first ever auction. So Jamie, if you're watching this, these did not go in my booth. The boys liked them, so we decided to put them here. And I decided to use the music sheets as like a table runner. tray I found at Vendor's Village, and it was like $2 or $3. So I just put it there with the walnuts. And I really like the way this little area turned out. It reminds me of my granny's house when I was little, because she always had the nutcrackers and the walnuts behind her couch in the living room. So childhood memories. Hopefully my boys will remember Christmas with us and have special memories. I moved our little mirror over here. You see the reflection of the tree. And here's a close-up of the skating minister. And Honey is thirsty in the background. And then we'll move on into the kitchen. On the island, we've got our little bottle brush trees and the pendants. These light bulbs don't get hot. That's the only reason I put little things up here, and they don't touch. It's just fun to add a little surprise up there sometimes for the holidays. We've got bows and greenery. And I kept the island pretty simple. So right now we do have the cake stand over here because it is Blue's birthday today. So we made a new sugar cookie recipe for his birthday, I think Saturday night. And these are the ones that are left. They're pretty yummy. It's my coffee from this morning. Honey's getting comfy in the background. It's supposed to snow today, so you can hear the wind chimes out there. It is so cold here. Into the kitchen. I think the kitchen is my favorite area this year. Up on my basket, I just added a little greenery and the cookie jar that I thrifted. And then on top of the cabinets to all of my terrines, added ribbon and greenery. I left the copper pans from fall just to make it easier, and I actually used more copper for Christmas this year. I think this stayed exactly the same during fall. I've got my little simmer pot ready for Thanksgiving, Christmas, any day. We want to feel extra cozy and make the house smell good. And then over here, I'm out of sugar, so I gotta fill that up again. I have this little tiny brass mouse. I think you're supposed to put receipts on it, but I don't know why, but it seems like a Christmas kitchen mouse was festive, so I put a little bow on its tail. And then I've got a little red and white teacup and saucer with a little bottle brush tree for a festive pop. And then all the Christmas books. And this pretty red and white platter I bought from Jamie. And I just added these mugs that I thrifted on top of it, ready for hot chocolate or peppermint mocha, all the festive, yummy drinks. So you can kind of see all the terrains at the top. At the sink, I brought out red and white dishes and a little garland and greenery. I still have the mums in my window box. Usually I have Christmas trees in there, but I still need to move those out. And then over here, I really brought out more of the copper and red and white. This lid does not go to this. It actually goes to the teapot that's on the island, but it works. And I just have some apples. Kind of did a matching thing with the silver trays on both sides of the sink. I've never done that before, but. And then big peppermint sticks. And red and white plate back there, and a lot of copper. Over here, added a little more copper and red and white, just layered a few different things on here, and stuck some greenery in the apron pocket. On the French doors, I hung a couple of wreaths. I don't love those, they're a little crazy looking, but it's the only ones I had, two of the same. So I may switch those out if I find something better, more affordable. I don't want to spend $100 on wreaths, so we'll see. Haven't done anything to the back porch yet, really, besides add a little tree to this table. And then on the mantle over here, I just brought out the crystal candlesticks, added some greenery, and put a tree in the center with oranges and a green ribbon. Added greenery and ribbons to the sconces and some more red and white dishes. This is the first time I've ever done garland and lights on the church pew when it's been over here. And then we got our nutcracker pillows, another runner with sheet music, and then just a little festive arrangement with another set of crystal candlesticks. Added green ribbons to the chandelier. Again, these don't get hot and they don't touch the bulbs. But I just feel like it looks so festive. So I ended up switching this up a little bit. I think I like the crystal look of this tree that goes better with the candlesticks, and the muted green matches that tree a little better. Brought out the boys' Christmas books, and then I added this little pillow with the teddy bears on the bench. I thought that was so cute. And got Mary and baby Jesus. I love the frame on this. Moving on into the living room, we have a sleepy doggy taking a nap. Try to go slow, not to make anybody dizzy. Up here, I just added the swan with some greenery and a few ironstone pictures with Christmas trees. This nativity plays music. The boys love that. I don't know if it'll focus through the... There we go. And then a swan with a tree. And another ironstone pitcher. And we've got a little portrait right there. On the mantle this year, I used a bunch of greenery picks instead of a garland. They're just kind of tucked in everywhere. And I brought these sconces in the living room and some sparkly trees, velvet bows, this glitter ribbon. It's kind of a mess, but it'll work. We hang our stockings on the irons. And then I've got a bunch of old books and trees. Swan screensaver. And then I think I did the same thing last year on the ladder with the bells. And moving on over to the Christmas tree, I always do it super full. I have a brown fur blanket on the bottom that I found thrifting, and I always like to add random things to my tree. If you've seen my videos before, you know this. It's not a surprise. And I like to add really big things here and there too, just to fill it in, make it look extra. stuffed. So I bought this at Goodwill, and I just zip tied it on here, and I use the branches. These are wire, so they hold stuff on pretty good too. And then I have a bunch of vintage frames that I've found at yard sales here and there. This is a children's tea set saucer. I just hot glued a ribbon. And you know I always use tree toppers as ornaments. Here's a book open to Mary and Joseph on the donkey. This is a cologne bottle I just tied string to. Lots of old frames and horns, nutcrackers, hymnal pages, teacups, postcards. You never know what you're gonna find on the Christmas tree. I've got a set of these vintage mirrors that I've added in this year. Lids that I use every year. It's a music box lid that I keep my bobby pins in. I just glue string to hang it, and then I put it back when Christmas is over. I have a lot of handmade ornaments that I just cut out and glued. That's a lid to a tin that I thrifted specifically to use as a Christmas ornament. Little nutcrackers that I've collected or added in here. This is another handmade ornament. Velvet ribbons. These ribbons both were 99 cents. Lots of postcards. Another mirror. Another open book. This is a cologne bottle. Leather little baby mittens. Another lid that I just glued string to. The bottom gets messed up between the boys and the dog, but that's okay. It's not perfect, but it's pretty. And the boys have a tree in their bedroom where they have all their ornaments that they decorated themselves. They picked out what they wanted to go on their tree, and it is so cozy in there. Over here, we did a similar thing last year, just with the reindeer and bottle brush trees. I should just open this, let's see. There we go. This is a vintage, or it may maybe an antique children's book with Mary and baby Jesus. I just have this angel. I think she's a candle holder. Yeah, candle holder. Very heavy. I got at a yard sale, I think. Little trees. Hymnal with a deer. School bell and a horn. And then in the middle up top, I just added a pick. And then we have our furry blankets and pillows. And then we just got this coffee table last night. Blue hated the antique trunk that I had before, and it was kind of dangerous. The edges were pretty sharp, and we have a lot of little kids around here. So we've been looking for a different coffee table for a long time. I've been looking for a table with this kind of design on it. I think that is so pretty, and it looks French. And I can't decide if I want to try to stain it or strip it down or leave it the chippy white. For now, I guess it looks okay because our mantle is white and some of the kitchen chairs. But I do love this design in the legs and how big it is. It does fit the space pretty well. And then I just put a Christmas candle with some red and green books. And more books over here. I've been using this for coffee. And then my quilt that I found at Goodwill a couple years ago for $15. It is so old. That's all for this year's Christmas home tour. I hope you all enjoyed and got some ideas and inspiration. As always, a lot of my stuff is thrifted finds that I got at yard sales or Salvation Army, here, there, and everywhere. But hopefully this gives you ideas on ways to use what you already have, shop your own house, or add items to your thrift wish list. But I hope you all have a great day and Merry Christmas. It snowed off and on all day today for Blue's birthday, the first snow of the season, and Honey's first time seeing the snow. She liked it for a second, but I think she decided it was way too cold out here. And I will say that the snowy view outside definitely makes the Christmas decorations even cozier, even though it is early November. Thank you so much for spending a little time with me today. I really appreciate you watching. I hope you got some ideas and enjoyed seeing our home decorated for the holidays. I will see you all again soon.